Hi, welcome to my channel where we question everything. Today's topic is my thoughts, and the reason why I'm doing this video is to clarify some items that might have come or questions that might have come up while you were watching my videos. And so I just wanted to put it out there. My approach to these videos is basically in the same sense as an argumentative discussions. So what I do is I gather a lot of information, and this information provides a picture of how I see the events and the news, and then basically based on those information I propose a narrative. And what you should actually see is that if you have a different narrative, like when I disagree with certain persons, then it is unfortunately like a remote argument. They say something, and there's a lot of questions that arise with me, and then I present a different narrative, and unfortunately it is more a semi-debate than a real argument. Now, unfortunately, the channel is not big enough. That's why I'm always asking for more subscribers. If we have more than enough subscribers, then one can have live interviews, and then we can have live discussions and arguments, and then we can invite certain speakers, and then we can have a live interactive type of situation. But at this stage it's not possible, so it is like a walkie-talkie type of thing. They say something, and then they say over, and then I say something, and that's over, and then unfortunately that's the end of the discussions. So all my videos you have to view in this context. Also, you will notice that I do not use a lot of, or do not provide references or links to other articles, and there are multiple reasons for that. Firstly, when I do read a lot of articles, I do read a lot of different commentators, and I watch videos and so on, because this is what I'm interested in. But you cannot always take the whole article or video as a reference, because sometimes I only discuss certain items. I don't always discuss the whole article or video. And also I believe that if you reference other people's articles or videos, then you use it as a validation for your own argument. Now, there's a danger to that. That means you are believing or promoting another person's article, which is basically his ideas and his views, as a validation for your own views. Now, that unfortunately it was a dangerous situation, because who says that that person in that article is correct or not? And we are mostly free thinkers, critical thinkers, people that question the narratives. So using somebody else's article to validate your own argument, that doesn't gel with the approach that, well, I take. When I do provide links to videos, which I sometimes do, it is more like you can watch it yourself, and you can look at my comments, and then you can decide what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. I do not state that I'm always correct. Make no mistake. I will be sometimes wrong. I can admit to that. Well, we never can be right all the time in any case. Our analysis and judgments and that we try to, and the narrative that we create from that is basically based on certain information that you can receive or that's available. You do not always have access to all information sources. And sometimes we are selective in what information sources we would like to believe in and which information points we would like to disregard. I did mention it in one of the videos when I talked about conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories are based on a selective analysis on selective information sources and events that suits that narrative and that suits that conspiracy theory. And the same principle applies here. Because we all don't always know what all the points are, there will be a chance that we are wrong. And it's very difficult to get all the information because you're not always there. So if you would like to criticize, say, Olaf Scholz, his actions, what he says is what he says, and you have to take the facts as he say it. But we don't always know what is the talks going on behind the closed doors. And we will probably never know about that. Now, politicians always lie. They always lie the whole day long. So one has to find out what is the lie really and what is the story behind that. And that makes it very difficult to always provide a good narrative. There will be coming up a video on political affairs, and hopefully I can make the point, or at least introduce you to the problems in creating a narrative and gathering all the facts. So it's more like introduce you to the problems that everybody has. What I would also like to say is that what the hell? I forgot what I wanted to say. Oh yes, I don't always address all the points that I would like to do, because as you will find out, I don't, initially my first 3 videos was from a teleprompter. I don't use it anymore. Before I actually start this video, I have a list of ideas that I would like to, or points I would like to address. And then I start with my conversation. And then sometimes it doesn't flow to all the critical or all the listed items, and then I don't cover all the items. So I realize I sometimes don't say things that I wanted to say, and it might sometimes lead to an incomplete picture, and I will admit my error to that. Another point that I also do sometimes is I assume that you as a viewer know certain things. And that makes it sometimes like I will talk about something which you have no idea about, or you will think that I'm not covering the topic completely or in full. And unfortunately, that is my assumptions, and that's again an error on my side. So if you ever want to know something, then leave a comment in the video section, the comment sections. And if you want to know something, or you think I have forgot something to address, then leave a comment and I will reply to that comment. And hopefully I can give you a bigger picture. So what I'm trying to say here is that I talk with the assumptions that you will know certain things, that if you want to talk about mathematics or science, then at least I assume that you have some knowledge about mathematics and science. Of course, if I have to tell you everything, then these videos are going to be hours and hours long, or I will make part 1, 2, 3, 4 and keep on going. And that is not what I would like to do, because there are so many events topics that we can discuss, that I'll use all YouTube storage up. So if there's something that you would like to know, leave a comment or a question in those. I would also like to ask that you as the viewer spread links to these videos. See if we can promote it so that we can have more subscribers. Because Google has some limits on or requirements for a minimum subscribers of about 1,000 before you can even ask for live broadcasts. Also, if I would like to make a backup on, say, Odyssey, then I have to have a certain amount of subscribers before they even try to sync with YouTube. And there's always a chance that if I say something wrong, then YouTube might cancel the account, and, well, then I have to go in any case to another service provider. So if there's something, be a little bit patient, ask the questions. I do, from my point of view, I am, you can say, pro-Russians, but the Russians are no angels, and I don't state that they are angels. But what the West has done up till now is a hegemony and enslavement of all countries outside Europe and America. And we have been financing the lifestyles of these people in Europe and America. And that has to come to an end. So I am more on the side of the so-called South. I don't know why they call it the South. Because China is still in the East, so I don't understand why they call it the South and not the East. But then the bulk of South America and Africa is in the South, but most of the people, India and China, is again in the East. And what I hate about this is all this fixed narrative. It's like continuously always talking, and the West, we all know, and we have propagated that they have a certain narrative. We know it is propaganda. We know it's a lot of lies. I can analyze these guys day in, day out, again, making YouTube's hard drives full. And what's the point? So when I talk about the same thing is currently now happening with the pro-Russian narratives. They continue sticking to the same narrative as the programs go. But things are changing. And slowly things are changing, and we have to adapt our narrative, but it is still more or less the same. And that is why I question the narrative, and that's why I'm mostly focused on the pro-Russian bloggers and vloggers. That's video, no? Yeah, all right. So, that's my story for today. Please consider what I have said when you view my other videos. That's important. And also my first two videos where I stated what is listening, and not only hear what you want to hear, and what is right and what is wrong. If you watch those two videos, they're not very long, then you can understand how I approach certain things. And context always is relevant. So until next time, cheers.